welcome to our webinar on CARM. My name is Sarah Udon, and I will be your moderator for today's call. I'm also an account executive here at Omnitrans. The CBSA Assessment and Revenue Management Program, better known as CARM, is a multi-year initiative that will transform the importation process. That is why today's webinar is both important and informative, as it will provide you with a full scope of what it means for the importers and how to prepare moving forward. Having said that, I would now like to introduce you to Emma Millian, who will present the CARM presentation today. Emma is the manager for Canadian Technical Consulting Services. Emma has been in the industry for over 28 years and brings both extensive knowledge and expertise in the Canadian brokerage field. She is a licensed customs broker and a certified customs specialist. She is also a trade compliance specialist. I will now hand over the mic to Emma to begin.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I appreciate the introduction. It's great to be speaking with you all today. But before we get started, I'd like to go over some housekeeping for today's webinar. The session should take no longer than 30 minutes, and it's being recorded for future reference. All participants are automatically placed on mute, and this is done to reduce interference and background noise. We'll address some frequently asked questions at the end of the presentation. If you have specific questions that come to mind during the presentation, please go ahead, send them to us by using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. We will compile all of your questions and get back to you with a personalized answer by email in the coming days. The webinar slides and a recording of the session will be available on our website within the next week. And we'll also be sending each of you an email with a link to the content so that you can access it directly from our website. So with that, let's get started. So here's today's agenda. So this is what we're going to cover today. You may be wondering, what is CARM? So today we'll provide you with an overview of CARM and what it means for importers. We will address important dates and what is involved with each CARM release. You will understand what your role is as an importer and what Omnitrans's role is as your customs broker. We will provide you with information on what you can do to be proactive and to ensure a smooth transition under CARM. CARM is short for CBSA Assessment and Revenue Management, and it affects all importers. CBSA was mandated by the federal government to modernize and digitize the duty and tax collection and payment processes for commercial imports. They were also mandated to be more client-facing with you, their clients, importers. CARM will not impact the process of releasing goods. This will remain unchanged. The focus of CARM is to revamp the revenue and cash management systems that are currently in place for assessing and collecting duties and taxes. CARM will simplify this process and allow for electronic payment options. CARM will be implemented in a series of releases. Release 1 is to take effect on May 25th of this year, so in about 3 weeks. This is when importers will have access to the CARM Client Portal, or CCP. Release 2 is where the major functionalities of CARM will take effect. In that release, which is scheduled for May 2022, we'll see significant changes to the customs entry accounting and financial processes. CBSA's CARM project actually started a number of years ago when ARL, or the Accounts Receivable Ledger, was implemented by CBSA. CARM Release 1 is now the next step in the project. This is the point when the CARM Client Portal will be available to importers, customs brokers, and trade consultants. This is our focus for today. The sole purpose of Release 1 is for importers and customs brokers to log in and connect with each other on the portal. This is in preparation for CARM Release 2, which we'll see next year. With Release 1, importers will need to register in the portal, assign access levels for users within their organization, and delegate authority to their customs broker in order for them to transact business with CBSA on your behalf. Release 1 will also provide new tools to assist importers with classifying goods, estimating duties and taxes, and to electronically apply for rulings directly with the CBSA. So to summarize, Release 1 is to link importers with their customs broker and with CBSA. All stakeholders that conduct business with CBSA are required to register their business on the CARM client portal. No importers are exempt from this requirement. Between May 25th, when the portal becomes available, and Release 2, importers will need to accept their customs broker's request within the portal and delegate authority to them to transact business on their behalf with CBSA. It is extremely important to keep in mind that importers must complete the broker delegation step within the portal before Release 2 in May 2022. Otherwise, their customs brokers will not be able to submit transactions to CBSA on their behalf. While the focus of this webinar today is to discuss CARM Release 1 and the portal, here are some things to look forward to when Release 2 comes into effect a year from now. All importers will need to enroll in CBSA's Release Prior to Payment program and post financial security directly with CBSA, either through a surety bond or a cash bond. Importers will have visibility to their statements of account, or SOAs, and financial statements will be accessible directly through the portal. Billing cycles will change. The due date for importer payments of duties and taxes to CBSA will change. And CBSA's offset and disbursement process will also change. For customs brokers in particular, the introduction of the CAD, or Commercial Accounting Declaration, will come into effect in Release 2. This will replace the current confirming and amendment processes of customs entries. Mass adjustments will replace the blanket B2 process that we know today. And duty drawback claims will use CAD versioning directly through the portal. More information will follow on the different aspects of Release 2. So let's redirect our attention back to Release 1. Registration on the CARM client portal and delegation of authority. Release 1 consists of a 5-step process to get yourself set up on the CARM client portal. That's it, 5 steps. You can check off step 1 if you already import commercial goods into Canada. Having a business number registered with the Canada Revenue Agency is step 1. So if you already import, you already have a business number. And then you can just move on to step 2, creating individual personal user accounts. Every employee in your company that interacts with CBSA, whether it's to verify import transactions or to make payments, will need to log into the CARM client portal and create their own personal account profile. Once the user has created their personal profile, they will submit a request directly through the portal, where the designated manager for the company's business account will then link that employee and assign specific access levels depending on the employee's user role. Something that you can do now to prepare for implementation of Release 1 on May 25th is to determine which employees in your organization will need to create profiles in the portal, and what their user roles and access levels will be. The Business Account Manager, or the BAM. The BAM is the user that completes the administrative or has complete administrative and functionality rights for the company and is responsible for setting up the business account on the portal. The BAM must create their own personal profile on the portal first. The BAM is also responsible for approving and assigning user roles to employees of business, including additional BAMs to help with the administration of the business account. When more than one BAM is assigned, they each have equal access and functionality to the business and program accounts. It's recommended that each company assign more than one BAM to administer the business account. The Program Account Manager, or the PAM, has the ability to modify program registration information. They can grant access to employees with either editor or reader user roles, and they can create, view, and edit all the transaction information within a program. The PAM must first create their own personal profile and submit an access request to the company to be added to the business account. The BAM will receive and approve the access request, and then they'll assign the applicable program account to the PAM. Editors are able to create, view, and edit all transaction information within the company's program account. The editor must first create their personal profile and submit an access request to be added to a program account. Readers are able to view all transaction information within the company's program account, but they cannot create or edit information. The reader must first create their own personal profile and submit an access request to be added to a program account. So in summary, remember the 5-step process that we showed you earlier on in the presentation? So let's summarize those steps. Step 1, if your business does not already have a business number from CRA, you will need to apply for and obtain one. Step 2, individual users must log into the CARM client portal and create their own personal user accounts. Step 3, users will need to link their personal profiles to the business account through the portal. Step 4, the BAMs and PAMs will approve requests in the portal, assign access levels to employees, and delegate authority to Omnitrans as their customs broker. When all of those steps are done, you can use the CARM client portal and all the functionalities of CARM Release 1. So next steps. If you are an importer that has already posted bond with CBSA, you are ahead of the game. All importers, including non-resident companies, must post security with CBSA before Release 2 comes live in May of next year. Do not wait until the first quarter of 2022 to start the process with a surety company. This is something that importers should be working on right away. You don't need to wait until 2022 to set up your bond with CBSA. You can do this now if you want. CBSA is preparing playbooks, guides, and YouTube videos with instructions for the CARM client portal registration. We expect these to be published in the next day or so. Omnitrans will be sending CARM updates and useful information to our clients through our OmniFlash email bulletins. If you aren't already receiving our OmniFlash bulletins, please let us know. Once it's available on May 25th, you will need to register your business on the CARM client portal and assign employee access levels. There is no need to panic. It doesn't need to be done on day 1, but you shouldn't put it off for too long. Most importantly, look out for an OmniFlash email from us letting you know that we are ready and waiting for you to accept our request to link in the portal. It is at that point that you will need to delegate authority to Omnitrans to conduct business with CBSA on your behalf. We can't stress enough just how important this step is. As of May 2022, we will not be able to confirm your import entries with CBSA if you have not delegated the required authority to Omnitrans through the portal. So with that, this concludes our CARM Release 1 presentation. Now keep in mind that this big step is about registering and linking your business with Omnitrans and CBSA in the portal. I am certain you have questions about the upcoming changes expected with Release 2, but let's keep our focus on the portal for now. New webinars and additional information will be forthcoming from Omnitrans in due time. So please rest assured you're in good hands. Sarah, do we have time to go through some of those frequently asked questions?
Well, yes, and thank you, Emma. That was very informative. You clearly
Thank you.
touched on all the key elements that importers must be aware of moving forward. We will now move into the question and answer period of the presentation. I have here a few frequently asked questions that I will ask Emma, who has graciously agreed to answer for us today. So let's begin. The first one is, how can Omnitrans help me register on the portal?
Okay, so as I mentioned, Omnitrans will be publishing information and updates directly on our website, and we'll be sending OmniFlash email bulletins to our clients. So be on the watch for those emails. If you still have questions, you can contact your Omnitrans client relations consultant who can help find the answers to your questions.
Okay. The second one here is, what if I already have a bond? Do I need to do anything else to prepare?
Yes, because the methodology used to calculate the amount of security required is changing. The amount of security is going to be used to secure all accounts payable, including duties, taxes, interest, adjustments, and other fees. Previously, it was only covering the duty amount. You didn't have to factor in the amount of GST, but now you have to factor in the GST amount as well. So you should contact your surety company to discuss what needs to be done in preparation for release 2.
Okay. My third question I have here is, will there be additional information available to help us get set up on the portal?
So yes, as I mentioned, CBSA is releasing videos, webinars, and presentations to help importers. And Omnitrans will be sending important information through our OmniFlash bulletins, and we'll be posting information on our website. So please keep an eye on our website as well. That information will be available under the CARM menu located on the homepage.
Okay. My fourth question, what are the repercussions if we do not get set up before May 2022?
Well, the repercussions will be severe. You will not be able to import goods into Canada if you haven't set yourself up on the portal before release 2 in May of next year. So there really is no option. You have to get set up in the portal prior to release 2 of May next year.
Okay. And my last question here for now, what are program accounts? And can you give us an example?
Sure. So when a company imports goods into Canada, they have what's called an RM, import-export account. That's their program account with CRA. So most companies will have really only one import-export account, which is their 9-digit business number, ending in RM0001. Larger companies, however, will sometimes have different RM accounts or different program accounts to identify and segregate the imports for their different divisions. Those import-export accounts will end with RM0002, RM0003, and so on.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you, Emma, for answering those frequently asked questions for us today. If any of you have any other questions, please feel free to email them to the email address on your screen, and someone from our team will gladly answer them. We will also be providing all participants today with a link which will contain both a copy of the presentation along with a recorded webcast. You will also be receiving a survey at the end of this presentation as well. Please note that we will also post on our website a copy of this presentation along with the webcast there as well for future reference. On that note, we wish to thank you all for having participated in our webinar on CARM today, and we hope you enjoyed the presentation. We look forward to your feedback in the survey, and we wish you all a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.